smallest saucepan I have that I put water in. As you can see, the water goes up to the rivets, and I'm turning the stove on low because I want this to simmer down. And I am going to add my dry matter as well as my coconut oil. So let me show you that. I just placed my glass bowl on top of my water, and you want this to be like a double boiler, so you don't want your glass bowl to be sitting in the water. I placed my dry matter, my dry leaf matter, my lemon balm, and my calendula leaves in the bowl. Now I did crush up some Lysin tablets because that's also good for wound healing, and if you have a wound, you can either take it internally or use it on the skin. I am going to be taking my coconut cold pressed organic coconut oil, and I am going to just pour it on top of my dried leaf matter. Now this is my second time making calendula and lemon balm oil today. I was interrupted by work, so I had to take a break, and you all didn't get a chance to see me finish that. So I'm finishing it up for you again now. I'm going to try again. So I've just poured what I feel is a significant enough amount of oil, and you just want to have that oil cover the top of your dried matter. So I'm going to let this sit on the stove for 2 hours and slowly simmer. And you can use any type of cold pressed coconut organic oil you find. That's the one I found at the store, so that's the one I'm using. And I'm going to let this melt down on a low flame. And we'll be back shortly. The water is heating up, and it is slowly melting the coconut oil. Now keep in mind that as this begins to heat up, this glass bowl is going to get hot, and you're not going to be able to touch it with your hands, so please be careful. Use a oven mitt or some kind of warm, safe mitt to where you can touch hot bowls and hot pans. So I'm just going to let this sit here and slowly simmer down. And this will be the last time I use this plant matter because I would have taken out all of its goodness making the infused coconut oil. And again, this is calendula petals, dried lemon balm, coconut oil with a couple of tablets that I crushed up of Lysin, so that you can have wound healing. If you happen to have wounds, if you cut yourself like me in the garden, the thorns on the lemon trees, always I managed to cut myself with that, so I will put a little bit of this salve on my hands or my arms where I've hurt myself in the garden. So we'll be back for the next step. All right, it has been sitting on the stove for about an hour. We've got another hour to go, and I just want to show you, if you can tell, see how that oil is turning green. It used to be clear oil, and now it has a green tint to it. That means the lemon balm is releasing all of its beautiful essence into the oil slowly, and it is turning this oil a nice, beautiful green. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. I decided to make a calendula balm or salve, and this morning I decided to take that calendula, since I still had some oil left in those petals, and I decided to make a calendula and lemon balm salve. So all I've done is I've taken a little jam jar, and I'll show you the jam jar, and it was about a third of the way full, or actually this one was about a half of the way full with calendula petals. And I took a pint jar that was about a third of the way full with lemon balm petals, and I place them inside of this little bitty bowl, and I poured on top coconut oil, just enough to cover the plant matter. I put water inside of this tiny little saucepan, and I am making a double boiler. I'm going to let this sit on the stove for 2 hours and simmer slowly as I keep an eye on it and make sure that I kind of stir it up a little bit so that nothing is burning. Sorry about the overhead light, but I'm going to show you the process of how I am making my salve slash balm. I don't remember if I said that the plant matter that I am using right now is dried plant matter. I dried the calendula oils. You saw me pick the calendula earlier this year, off and on. And you've seen me pick the lemon balm, and you saw me dry the lemon balm, or you saw the effects of the dried lemon balm. I did show you that in a previous video. And as you can see down up under the clear glass jar or bowl, which is why I used it, is you can see the water bubbling. So the water has come to a slow boil because I have it on low. So it's just going to sit here and simmer away. Okay, I am turning off the fire, and I am going to try to pour off this oil into this mason jar without pouring it all over the place or getting it on myself. Because there's always that possibility that accidents happen. Now I'm going to hold this and see if I can slowly get it. Trying to slowly get it. There we go. Uh-oh. A little bit poured out. Oh no! I made a mess. See what I tell y'all? There's always that possibility of me making a mess. That's okay. I'll get it up and I'll use it on myself. I will use it on myself. So I am just going to take out, I'm going to take this, if I can scoop it out, my goodness. I'm just going to take it out and try to smash out the remaining oil like so. I'm going to let that be for right now because that oil is hot. And I'm going to take this and scoop it off. Same thing. Make sure that you are pressing out any remaining oil out of your plant matter. Hope you guys can hear me. Sorry about that. There is dinging in the background. Okay, let's try this one more time. Pour the remainder on there like that. I could just kick myself. I spilled some, but it won't go to waste. I will get it up. I won't try to get it up with a napkin. I will get it up with my hands and rub it all over my arms. Okay, now that I have taken out as much of the oil as I can out of this dry plant matter, I'm going to discard it because it has served its purpose. I can't use it anymore in anything else. Now, I am going to take this bowl with a paper towel because you don't want to use any type of water. I'm going to take this bowl and I'm going to try to wipe out, just with the paper towel, the plant matter. I'm going to move the bowl over here so you guys can see. And I'm just going to try to get out any plant matter that I can out of the bowl. because you do not want plant matter. And if you get a little bit in there, it's okay. But for the most part, you want to get as much of that plant matter out of that bowl as you can. And so I'm just using a paper towel to get it out. Like so. Just like so. And I do believe I've gotten the vast majority of it out. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have hot water. So I'm going to get a little bit of hot water going on the sink. I hope you guys can hear me with the water running. Because I need that hot water to add to this bowl. I'm sorry, this pan. Let's see if this is still hot. Oh no. Oh, that feels really good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that feels awesome. All right, so let me see if this water's hot. It is getting there. So let me get my pan. Put a little bit of hot water in the pan. You want to add that hot water to your pan, and you want to place your bowl back on top of that water, just like so. You want to turn your stove on. Turn it down to low. Just like so. Making sure everything is on the eye. Alright, let's move you guys. Now I am going to take this oil and I am going to pour it, sorry about that, back into the bowl. Just like that. I'm going to take that mason jar and put it off to the side. Now what I'm going to do now is I've taken some beeswax that I have off to the side, and I've shaved it down a little bit because the beeswax that I purchased comes in a block. And so I've shaved it down, and now I'm going to place that beeswax into my infused oil, just like so. Just like so. And we're going to let that beeswax melt. And I just shaved off just a couple of swipes. I didn't even bother to measure it. I'm not really sure. But this is the block that my beeswax comes in. Hope you guys can see it. It's a block like that. Wrapped in paper. Comes wrapped in a nice brown paper, like so. I'm going to put it back in the container, and I am going to melt down that beeswax. And once that beeswax has melted all the way down, then my salve/balm is completed. And then I can put it in whatever container I choose. Now I am going to put it back in my mason jar, and I'm going to set it out and let it cool. And I'll show you in just a second the beeswax that I use. I'm trying to close the bag right now. The bag is a little tricky, but that's okay. There we go. And this is the beeswax that I use. And it smells wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So that is the beeswax. Now I'm going to take the spoon that I was using, and I'm going to wipe off the plant matter. I'm just going to wipe it off. I'm not going to use any type of water. I'm just going to use that paper towel to get the plant matter off of it. And I'm just going to slightly, lightly, slowly stir in that beeswax. Just like that. And we're going to give it some time for that water to heat up. The bowl is not hot yet. It's going to take a little bit of time for that water to heat up. It is heating up because you can tell the beeswax is melting. And as soon as it's melted, I'll be right back. Okay, I have cleaned up my mess. I have slathered that beautiful oil all over my hands and my arms. And the reason why I got into this I need to make a salve slash balm mold is when I went to work on Monday, they brought us a bottle of what I thought was hand sanitizer. And when I used it, my skin, my hands burned so badly. And it burned for quite some time after the fact that I felt like I needed something to help soothe my skin. So I came to the house and I began to make lemon balm, make a salve. Because even days later, my skin on my hands still don't feel the way they normally feel. They feel very dry. It's hard to explain. Well, actually, no. If everyone's and everyone should be washing their hands consistently nowadays. And when you wash your hands like that, your hands begin to feel some kind of way due to all the constant washing. And so that's how my hands feel. Sorry about that, y'all. That's how my hands feel times 5. So I've put all that away on the sink. The stove has been turned off. And this is my lemon balm calendula salve balm, whatever you want to call it. And it smells amazing. Can you see that beautiful green color? Look at that. So I'm going to let this sit and cool, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's cool. It has been a busy day in and out of the kitchen. I have made 3 bottles of balm. This is the second lemon balm calendula salve balm that I've made. It's a little bit lighter in green color than my first one because I used the same plant matter. I tried to draw out all of the essence that I could out of it, but it's just a tiny bit lighter in color, but you can still see how green it is, I hope. But yes, this is my lemon balm and calendula salve and or balm. You can use it on your body, on your lips, on your skin from your neck down. If you have any issues with your skin as far as dryness, chappedness, this will help you. If you have wounds like I tend to have when I come in, I always have a scratch or something either on my hands or a blister from raking or something. I got a blister on my hand from doing the lawn the other day and scratches on my arms, and so I make sure that I have this available to put on the boo-boos that I come in the house with. So if you guys like this video, make this salve for yourself, and I'll put some more detailed information in the description box. I know I'm really bad at ingredients, but hopefully you can follow along and make this wonderfully delicious smelling balm for yourself. So thanks for watching.